Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Quantus on the FTOG server. How you doing? Welcome back. So, I've been in my power plant working on the next tier of power creation. We've got a whole setup here of immersive engineering at the minute, which pumps out a huge amount of power. This is currently full, so I don't need it on at the minute. But it pumps out a huge amount of power. We've had the other bits and pieces in here that have the windmills and the water mills and stuff that are going around, that are producing power that's going into all the same ID place, right? All the same power cell card ID 25. And all that power is getting stored up and distributed and used however it needs to be. Generally, this setup is off at the moment. I only turn it on for a quick burst of power. And I'm currently using a certain amount of power in here. There's actually some really cool stuff going on the server where a couple of people, and I don't know why there's two people, but there is a couple of people. I've got withered. That's it. I got a wither generator, a nether star generator. Right, this thing here does nether stars, generates a lot of stuff, yeah, and withers you when you get in close range. Not a great feeling being withered, is it? Not a great feeling. Oh, smack. I think I'm fine. I don't think I'm dead. I just keep eating. The regeneration in this version of Minecraft is so fast that it doesn't really affect you too much. But I've got to be careful of it. But anyway, there's a couple of wither boss woot farms on the server generating so many nether stars that it was rude not to. Plus, there's a freebie thing at spawn at the minute where we're receiving nether stars for free. So I grabbed a couple of stacks and made myself a nether star generator just to generate a huge amount of power. But it's not huge enough an amount of power. It's a huge amount of power. It's doing a great job. And it's okay for now. But I want to play around with things. I want to make things happen. I don't just want to jump to the end. I want to play around with cool stuff. This is what I'm working on at the minute. Another little woot farm. So what I've been setting up is trying to get it so it looks nice, that it's going to be practical and all that kind of stuff. So I've wanted to have the woot farm on the same level as these blocks here, right, which is on walking level for the factory beside it. So in here again, walking factory level, yeah, walking factory level. These little slight step ups onto these areas will be okay. And then this one is on this level, but of course I've got the railing there at the minute, yeah, on this level. And this is another farm. And what I've been working out towards is getting towards a ultimate power source, the ultimate power source of extra utilities. And I know it's been done before. It's been done by plenty of people. It's been done by people on the FTOG group. It's been done by lots of people before. It's not a new thing. But I want to achieve it in this world. I want to achieve it in this power plant, in this series. If it's the last thing I do in the series, which it may well be, to be fair. It may well be, because Quantus is slowly but surely fading down, and a new thing will be coming out soon for the FTOG community to play as our server play series. So I want to finish up with something very, very big and impressive inside here. And I've got all this space. It's so slowly but surely looking really good. And I want to make that corner look equally as good as the rest of it. And then I want to make this section down here look good as well. In my library area, I've got this looking good in here. And I want the mob drop area, all the mob drops sorting and filtering and stuffing of things into boxes like this, all to happen down here. The enchantments and all that kind of stuff in here as well. I want to do all of that kind of stuff. I want to carry on doing all that kind of stuff. And there's a few bits and pieces that I need to finish on the outside of the castle. Like there's a section here that I need to build. But I'm focused in on the automation of everything at the minute. There's also this section around here. So as we get to here and round here and back to the beginning of the walling, the first tower we built over this side. So I've got the outside edge still to finish off formatting and making look cool. And I've got a few little bits inside that need to be made look cool. And I've got this one ultimate power system to sort out as well. And sorting out the ultimate power system is a very interesting bit of automation. Lots of interesting things. And I'm required to use woot farms for quite a bit of it, because a lot of it requires mob drops. Let me explain the end goal. Okay, so these extra utilities 2 generators. Yeah, there are a few varied delights of them, and I'm not sure exactly how many there are. It might be 16 or something like that, right? 16, like one each color, something like that, right? And each one does a different effect. Takes a different thing. Yeah, so explosive generator generates RF per tick based on TNT or gunpowder. Gunpowder I can get from the mob farms. TNT uses gunpowder and sand from the mob farm, as it were. So I could do this with a mob farm. Slimy generator requires some kind of slime or blood or something, pears, something like that, and milk. Milk being the difficult one to get hold of, but we'll figure that one out as well. Overclocked is just anything. What's this one? This is magmatic. I need to generate lava. This is death generator. This is all kinds of bone blocks and stuff we've already seen before, right? So you've seen all this, and you've seen what I've been trying to get started on the power generation. But what happens when all 16 colours of generator work at the same time is there is another extra generator called a rainbow generator. And the rainbow generator, when all other generators are creating power, takes the unlimited power of the rainbow. Taste the rainbow, baby. So, tasting the rainbow gives us about something ridiculous like 1 million RF per tick. Right? More than I could possibly ever use, more than I can imagine. But I simply need to have the other generators running. So, even though there is a woot farm generating nether stars, and I have a nether star generator up there generating practically more than enough power than I'll need for anything, because this is modded Minecraft, and because I want a challenge, and because I still enjoy making this place look really cool, I want to make this section look really cool while building up towards making the rainbow generator, okay, and have that 1 million RF per tick done before the end of the series, okay, which we are coming to the end of the series, so I want to get it done before the end of the series. So then what are we doing? Right, well, for my calculations, we need 3 tier 1 woot farms minimum, right, and this is a tier 1 woot farm, yeah, this is a tier 1 woot farm, yeah, this is a tier 1 woot farm, which I've decided I'll upgrade to woot farm 2, tier 2, because I want more mob drops from this one than I do the other 2. The fact is, though, the 3 things that we're dealing with, we're going to be dealing with sheep, which I've already got a sheep farm. This is, if you see the wall here, it says sheep requires tier 1 woot. Yeah, tier 1 spawning sheep, okay? And all that's doing is just generating raw mutton and wool. But it generates wool of all different colours, which I've got a problem with because I only want pink wool. Yes, I only want pink wool. And I only want pink wool, pink gen, because of the pink generator. Right? I only want pink wool because of the pink generator. The pink generator, anything pink, generates power. Right? The power of pink. So I've got to do something to create create the right thing. So I've got this, right? I've got peony. Peony is something that I can bone meal to get pink dye, and then I can use the pink dye to dye the wool pink, get rid of all the other wools, and then put the pink wool into the pink generator. I could also really do culinary generation, right? A culinary generator, which is such, yes, and this can then cook anything that you can eat and turn it into energy, right? And of course, mutton is coming out of here, so I just need to cook the mutton and turn it into cooked mutton and put it into that generator. Right, so a sheep farm ends up producing for 2 generators from 1 tier 1 farm, and it produces fairly quick. Really, produces fairly quick. It's producing fairly quickly now. Really, probably enough to stick with the generator. And if not, I'll put a couple of tier 1 upgrades on it. That's fine. The other one is slimes, and I'm just working on that at the minute. I actually need some more stuff over here. Making slime balls from slimes is an important part of the slime generator. I don't think there's any other way of making the slimes or the slime balls. Slime ball. I don't think there's any other way of making slime balls. We can get the slime pearl, which comes from slimes. we can get raw jellyfish, which generates slime. Don't know how I get raw jellyfish apart from maybe a farming station, like a fish farming station that produces slimes. Possibly not enough because it might produce all the other fish as well, which means slimes are going to be few and far. So the best bet, really, is to get it from mob drops, which is killing slimes. Simple, yeah. Magma creams come from slimes. Maybe I could magma cream industrial centrifuge it into slime balls and blaze powder. So the slime balls then goes into one thing. So maybe magma creams would be awesome. But a magma needs a higher tier of farm, whereas a slime only needs a tier 1 farm, right? So there's a few other options that I've looked into. I can also do this cactus to turn it into slime balls through Botania. But I've come down to the solution that just basically doing slime, which produces slime balls and slime pearls. Slime pearls can be broken down into 4 slime balls. So that's like potentially 5 slime balls per spawn, right? And I don't know how much slime a tier 1 is going to be making. It's just going to be making a lot in it. So we're going to have that. But I do need something to milk my cow. I need a cow being milked at the time to put the slimy generator, slime balls and milk into the slimy generator. And I'm not sure how to do that yet. So that's another little challenge to think of. And then the final tier 1 is one that we've already started on, which was a skeleton tier 1. It's currently a tier 2 because it spawned more stuff when I put the tier 2 upgrades in. And for some reason, it just felt like having it fit into the space better was okay. And then having this platform here extend out and having some of the automation for the generators on that platform. Slime coming down into that generator, that stuff going up and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just trying to make that space into something as well would have made it look good. And I can try and design it to look cool as well. In the same way as these 2 sections look good, I'd like that section to look good as well. So what I've been doing now is it's just a long-winded process for making any part in this at all. It's all just a long-winded process. So at the minute I was looking at making the Woot controller, and the Woot controller requires all these different tiers of upgrade plus casings and connectors and all that kind of stuff, right? And I was just the casing short. The casing, I have to make casings for everything, right? And it requires this under iron plate, and the under iron plate requires this under iron to make the under iron plate, which I'm just going to make a load of it now because I need it. I don't need this under iron for anything else as far as I'm concerned. And then I had to make some under iron, which is by making this pulverized under iron, which is pulverizing nether brick and iron together to make the pulverized in order to cook it to make this, and so on, yeah. So it's been a laborious process, and every time I want to add a couple of blocks, every single block uses one of these factory casings, it seems. Well, okay, all of these kind of blocks use factory casings. Very difficult to set up. But once again, all of these things we can get hold of. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of me working through and getting things done. It's a matter of time, that's all. And there we go. We've got that mod factory. I also made a few more of these mob prisms and prism frames and stuff while I had a chance to try and get that set up. And I've also captured a blaze because I needed some more blaze rods to make more of the ender chest that's going to be beaming the stuff around. So yeah, overall, I have been setting things up slowly but surely to do the funky automation of making all of this generate power. So hopefully today we will have a little bit of a setup with the skeletons producing enchanted goods that we can then use the enchantments in a disenchanter. I think the disenchanter, let's see if it comes up with there. No, that's a disenchanter from Draconic Evolution. Okay, let's see about the generators. There is a generator that is a disenchanting generator. Overclocked pink, slimy, explosive frost. Frost is another one that's going to be a pain in the butt. I tried in a creative world to get the snowman in a mob generator, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it. You can't do mobs. Disenchant generator. There we go. This disenchantment generator requires a bit of magical wood and an enchantment table and all that kind of stuff. But you put enchantments into it. It might just be enchanted books, which might be a problem. I might need to blook in blood magic. That becomes that. It goes in, disenchants stuff, and then the enchantments fall off, and I can use the enchantments for power, which is another generator. So this also does the bones, which does the death generator as well. So we'll get a couple of things out of that, and all the enchantment books and things that we need over there. It's going to be a very, very complicated automation system, this one. The others lesser so. I think I'm going to definitely get the other ones done today and start working on the skeletons enchantment area as well very soon, and a little bit of blook. There's some other bits and pieces that we could upgrade as well to take all this enchanted stuff and make some materials out of it, make some use out of it, and do some funky things with it. But I've got a lot of crafting and recipes to do right now, so I'll be back in a bit with some more progress. Alright, so first up, look at how much mutton I'm getting. So I've been making a few bits and pieces, tinkering around a little bit. It doesn't seem like we get many types of wool, but I'm not sure because I keep filling up with mutton and other things. So what I'm trying to do is I've got all 16 wool colours available. I haven't actually put them in here yet because these are the only wools that it's producing. The sheep farm, the sheep woot mod farm is only producing these colours so far. But I need to get rid of the next thing. So I'm going to produce the next thing. I'm just going to do it on the wall here. I actually want it to be like in the wall looking pretty at some point. But for right now, I'm just going to do it up against the wall here so that I can get it done. Okay, so this is a culinary generator. We've used them before in other things. We've used them before, let's say. We've used them before plenty. Let's go with putting an alloy smelter on top. So the generator takes cooked mutton, right? And the cooked mutton then creates energy. Simple as that. The energy then fills this, yeah? But then excess energy could go down into one of the cubes, the energy cubes, once this is filled up or whatever. I don't even care. It could literally just operate this, and then it causes a little loop. I don't know. Or maybe I'll put some sort of battery in there on the day when I need the rainbow generator to happen. But regardless for that, anyway. This is going to push the cooked mutton out into there, and I also want to create a hold here for the mutton. So let's just have a hold for mutton over here. Simply put, we'll put mutton in there, right? And then this can be set to pull from the top. Yeah, so pull mutton out of the top and into there. It will then cook the mutton, put the mutton into here, and then that will then give power out to the next section. And I can probably turn this on and off using a lever by having it redstone on and just having the lever set up on the not on the side there, not on the side there, not on the side there at all. Give me back, thank you. I can just have it set up, possibly even on the side there, yeah, and just turn it on. So it now requires the lever to be on in order for it to process the cooked mutton. Okay, so I can turn it off, take the power out of it and all that kind of stuff, and use it as I want, whenever I want. Yeah, but for right now, let's leave it so it's running because we want to see it going through all of this system. I'm going to need to use, I suppose I'm just going to use a straightforward transfer node, and we will take some of this raw mutton out of there and use some kind of filter. There's a filter I was using earlier for the experience farm. It's whitelist mutton. Okay, so only mutton goes through here, and we will set that up so that we've got an ender chest up here with a transfer node on there, and in the transfer node we are only going to take out raw mutton and take that off there. Thank you. Now it should only take raw mutton. Yep, and then link that to the chest here. There we go. Now we've got the raw mutton. Awesome. So that is a self-contained little unit. What I'm looking for now is trying to find my key. There it is, to lock the drawer. Just because I don't want to leave that unlocked, because I like keeping things tidy. So that now is a production line from the farm, producing the mutton. All the mutton's coming out of there, making space for some more, right, through here. It's automatically getting put in here and cooked, and then automatically put in the culinary generator to generate the power, not only to cook, but also I can add in another little one of these things, power generators, that I use for the various different bits and pieces. Just another power cell. That's it, power cell. Just put another power cell on it. Probably just a small one because it's nice and cheap, just like one of these. Just put a simple power cell on it with the right ID, and then that is completely self-contained, right? And the rest of the stuff that come out of the sheep farm will be the wool. And I should be able to see if there's any wool that's not coming out of the farm into here. Now I've got to figure out how to dye the wool pink, because there's going to be a lot of white wool that I can dye pink. All of this can be voided off, but pink wool is a new thing. I've got to do pink. And I think I could possibly bone meal peony in order to make that happen. Here's another little trick I'm doing to filter out some of the bits and pieces. I've set a transfer node up here with a filter, yeah? The filter is for bows. Let me take it out, actually. It'll filter anything in at the minute. It won't go anywhere because I've got a single set of basic drawers here, all part of the parcel. Bows. So any bows, and I've set it to ignore metadata, so it doesn't matter about the durability usage, but match NBT data, so it does not pick out the enchanted bows. Okay, so as you can see, the enchanted bows are still in there. And if I put this back in there now and take the arrows out, nothing's going to come through the filter because it's only normal bows, not enchanted bows. So that comes into here. So let me put that back in there. Look, it'll take that out. Any bows that are not enchanted go into here. And then, of course, if I flick this switch, those bows will go through the hopper and out into the bin. Right, so I can test it. This is also so that I can stop it here. I've put an upgrade of storage downgrade in here so I don't get stacks and stacks of stuff while I'm doing this. If I take this out now, you see, it'll grab whatever's in there, whatever it can find, and put it into here. And I don't want it to do more than a stack of things. I don't want to take out all the arrows in there and do all that kind of stuff. But what I do want to be able to do is take things like this and get rid of all of this kind of armor and stuff that I don't really want. So I should be able to do the same setup here by setting them up like this. Kind of, shoulda, maybe. And then put that back in there. I only need to remove one set of that. Put that in there, put that in there. And we should start seeing all of this going through, out the other side. So yeah, the helmet's gone through. So we can click, that's going through. Pants, pants, pants. All the pants going through. Stop it from going through for a second. Should be going through quickly there. Yeah, you see, everything that wasn't enchanted has gone through. Yeah? Which is great. Awesome. That's how that bit's setting up. I've got a few other bits and pieces in here that are enchanted stuff. I want the enchanted stuff for some other purpose, you see. So I'm trying to sort out what I'm getting from these mob farms as I'm getting them to try and make it work the way I intend it to work. And this one, this filter, I'm just going to keep adding to that filter as we go. Also, managed to get yellow wool from this mob farm as well, which there's not really a lot of wools coming on. There's not really different varieties of wool. There's definitely no pink wool, which is a shame. Mostly white, it seems. Mostly white. And yeah, a few other colours, but a yellow popped up just at random. So we'll see how that goes in the next bit. Okay, well, we're getting there. We're getting there. You'll see a little bit more over the course of the next couple of episodes, but for today's episode, we've got quite a bit done. I've got it so that this is filtering out all the bits and pieces. We're getting slime balls from a slime farm now. We're getting lots of magical items and things like that as well. Magical items and stuff we've got to deal with. I'm currently deleting all of the non-magical armors and stuff, and I'm planning on doing the same sort of filtering system over here to pull out all of the items such as bows and things that are magically enchanted, pull them out, put them into a big chest here, and then have this big chest here, we could just take something like this, stick it in this disenchantment generator and just put it in here and generate an RF income from that, which can then also go into a power cell in a similar sort of like simple flow diagram, as it were. But I'm going to need to do a lot of messing around getting each of the different types of item in a filter coming down into here to make it fill this up. Then that can just keep filling this up forever, really. There was concerns that some of these things would actually be worth making books out of, using Bluke from Evilcraft and all that kind of stuff. But once I've got the books from these things, it's kind of, I could stop it going into the furnace at any time I want just by putting a hopper with a locking mechanism, so I can lock the hopper and then find the enchanted stuff that I want in here, go and take the enchantments off stuff and put them in my book library, and then let it carry on filtering through afterwards. It's just disposing of it all. It's just removing and disposing of all of the enchanted items. Can go straight to there, regardless of their durability. They can just go straight into here, which is good, right? So that would then sort out the skeleton farm, which is one of the reasons why I've had a tier 2, is to throw in a little bit extra upgrades in the skeletal farm. That would get me the bones and everything like that sorted out, yeah. I'm trying to also generate a design for it, as you can see. It's kind of starting to look right. It still needs some upright support, so I'm not sure exactly how to do it. I might do some more white clay. I don't really want to do the same again for this stuff, so it needs to be a different thing. But yeah, I'm getting there. Wool-wise, we've got a lot of wool, so I took that off, so it's using power-up. So it's not doing any more wool at the minute. But pink is a thing that I can do easily enough. And we've got now the slime generator up here generating slime, right? But for the slime generation, so the sheep goes into there, the enchanted goes into there, the bones would go into here, yeah. The slime needs milk. So what I've got, and it was Technojock's idea, actually, as a good solution, was to get a cow in a jar, right? So a cow in a jar is a milk jar from Cooking for Blockheads. Put a cow on top of it, leave a space, and then put an anvil on top of that. I'm hoping that this is how you do it without killing a cow. Hey! Yes, it is. Hey, there we go. So now I've got a cow in a jar. If I break it, do I lose the cow in a jar? Do I keep the cow in a jar? It's a cow in a jar. Yes. Is it still the cow in a jar? So if I put it over here, say, yes, it is a cow in a jar. So the cow in a jar will make milk all the time, and I can bring the milk out, and I can take slime blocks out, or slime balls out, and I can mix the slime balls and the blocks in the slimy generator, like this. Slime balls and milk into the slimy generator in order to use that power. And then that would be a constant milk plus slime equals power, keeping that generator running. Overall, I think we're getting really well into this. There's the more complicated things will be coming up, but I feel like the more complicated things are more just a complicated crafting recipe, followed by a little bit of automation. And I feel like these more simple things have actually become more complicated by design because of all the filtering out of things I've got to set up, all the little micromanagement that I've got to do to sort it all out. And also in today's episode, I've also been trying to work out this this blocks of fencing, as it were, the platforms around it to even it all out to make it look nice. So I've been using the design side of things a little bit too much maybe this episode as well in the downtime. But it does look okay now. It does seem like it's in keeping with all of the rest of this side of the factory, and we get a little bit of going into here for that, and this will go along this bit as well to continue for more stuff. I believe I need some more mob farms, so I'm going to need to make some more mob farms in these two sections to do some more of this stuff. And just generally moving these things to where they're better off. Like this may actually end up being down here by the sheep farm and be a constant thing. Also, where does the sheep wool get put? I mean, having this set up here is just the exact thing that we want, but maybe we need to put this somewhere else. We can put the ender chest anywhere we want, in effect, to make this look nicer over here. Or maybe that's where I want it. Maybe that's exactly where I want it to be, and have access to wool here at the sheep farm, and so on, and so on, and so on. We'll see. I'll do some more in another episode. But for right now, folks, that is all we've got time for. So thank you all very, very much for watching today's episode of Quantus on the FTOG server. We are slowly but surely winding down this series and getting to the point of a new series starting on the FTOG server. So I hope you're looking forward to something new. I hope you stay with us while we finish this off. I'm going to put the grind in and make a rainbow generator from extra utilities. And there's lots and lots of automation and setup and design and planning to be done to get to that point. So if you've got any ideas, please leave them in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next Quantus on the FTOG server.